to share in the fullness of the gospel by sharing the gospel with others. That was the vision before Paul. Sharing the blessings of the gospel by sharing the gospel with other people. It was a passion that he had. He died doing it. He got hungry doing it. He got cold doing it. He was beaten up for doing it. He was shipwrecked for doing it. He spent time in prison for doing it. But it was the vision that he had. He was passionate about doing that. It was his one thing that was the focus of his life. It's what he lived to do. It's what he lived to accomplish. And so the question is this, the blank on your outline is, what's your one thing? What is it that you are passionate about? We know that in Philippians chapter 3, the Apostle Paul wrote about this one thing, I do. And we all sometimes, we have 15 or 20 or 100 things we just piddle around in. But what's your one thing that you want to pursue more than anything else in the world? It's a question that we need to ask and answer for ourselves. A guy by the name of Frederick Buechner said this. This is in your outline too. God calls us to the place. Here's the one thing in our life. God calls us to the place where our deepest gladness, that is the thing that brings us the most joy, and the world's deepest hunger meet. Your one thing is going to be something you like. Your one thing is going to be something that you're passionate about. And when God leads you, your area of passion, to an area of need in the world, that intersection is something that will excite you for the rest of your life. So ask yourself, what is my one thing? What's the focus of my life? What is the one thing that I will be more passionate about than anything else? What's the one thing that I will make the top priority in my life? In Bill Hybels' book, Axiom, where he gives that definition of vision as being the picture of the future that produces passion in you. He says this about your picture. For you, it might be the picture of a hungry child being fed, her life being spared. That might be the thing that ignites passion in your soul. It might be a picture of a homeless person finding shelter. It might be a picture of a dying church being revitalized, or of a lost person coming to faith, or a volunteer finding a ministry that perfectly uses the gifts God has given. It might be a lonely person finding community, or an artist finally using his creative gifts to serve God. There are as many life-giving visionary pictures of the future as there are leaders among us. Who knows what it would be for you, because there are an infinite amount of visions that God has for us. For you, it might be seeing children come to know Jesus Christ as their Savior and growing up to be adults that love God, beginning with the children in your own household or the children in your children's household. That may be the passion that you have. And as a church, our one thing, we have one thing. And however we see it as a church, it must be related to taking the good news of Jesus Christ to our community and to the world. So 3 characteristics of great vision. It starts with focus. That is the one thing. What's the one thing for you? The one thing that God wants you to do.